الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم رب شهر رمضان الذي نزلت فيه القرآن وافترضت على عبادك فيه الصيام، صل على محمد وآل محمد وارزقني حج بيتك الحرام في عام هذا وفي كل عام، واغفر لي تلك الذنوب العظام، فإنه لا يغفرها غيرك يا رحمن يا علام. اللهم إني أفتتح الثناء بحمدك وأنت مسدد لثواب منك، وأيقنت أنك أنت أرحم الراحمين في موضع العفو والرحمة، وأشد المعاقبين في موضع النقال والنقمة، وعاهم المتجبرين في موضع الكبرياء والعظمة. اللهم أذنتني في دعائك ومسامتك، فاسمع يا سميع مدحتي وأجب يا رحيم دعوتي، وآخر يا غفور عثرتي. فكم يا إلهي من كربة قد فرجتها، وهموم قد كشفتها، وعثرة قد عقلتها، ورحمة قد نشرتها، وحلقة بلاء قد فككتها. الحمد لله الذي لم يتخذ صاحبة ولا ولدا، ولم يكن له شريك في الملك، ولم يكن له ولي من الظلم، وكبره تكبيرا. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. الحمد لله بجميع محامده كلها على جميع نعمه كلها. الحمد لله الذي لا مضاد له في ملكه ولا منازع له في أمره. الحمد لله الذي لا شريك له في خلقه ولا شبيه له في عدمته. الحمد لله خاشف الخلق يمره رحمته، الظاهر بالكرم مجده، الباسط من جوديته، الذي لا تنقص خزائنه ولا يزيد الكثرة العطاء إلا جودا وكرما، إنه هو العزيز الوهاب. اللهم إني أسألك قليلا من كثير، مع حاجة إليه عظيمة، وغناك عنه قديم، وهو عندي كثير، وهو عليك سحر يسير. اللهم إن عفوك عن ذنبي، وتجاوزك عن خطيئتي، وسفحك عن ظلمي، وسترك عن قبيح عملي، وحلمك عن كثير جرمي، إنما كان من خطاي وعمدي أطمعني فيه أن أسألك ما لا أستوجبه منك، الذي رزقتني من رحمتك، وأريتني من قدرتك، وعرفتني من إجابتك، فسرت وأدعوك آمنا وأسألك مستانسا، لا خائفا ولا وجلا، مدلا عليك فيما قصدت فيه إليك، فإن أبت عني عتبت بجهلي عليك، ولعل الذي أبت عني هو خير من علمك بعاقبة الأمور، ونمر مولا كريما أصبر على عبد منك علي يا رب، إنك تدعوني فأولني عنك، وتتحبب إلي فتبغض إليك، وتتودد إلي فلا قبل منك، كأنني أتطول عليك فلم يمنعك ذلك من الرحمة لي والإحسان إلي وتفضلي علي بجودك وكرمك، فرحم عبدك الجاهل وجد عليه من فضل إحسانك، إنك جواد كريم. الحمد لله مالك الموت مجري الفلك مسخر الرياح فانق السباح ديان الدين رب العالمين. الحمد لله على حلمي بعد علمه، والحمد لله على عفوه بعد قدرته، والحمد لله على كون أناتي في غضبه وهو قادر على ما يريد. الحمد لله خالق الخلق باسط الرزق فالق السباح ذي الجلال والإكرام والفضل والإنعام، الذي بعد فلا يرى قرب فشهد النجوى تبارك وتعالى. الحمد لله الذي ليس له منازع يعادله ولا شبيه يشاكله ولا دهير يعادله، قهر من عزته الأعزة وتواضع لعظمته العظمى فبلغ بقدرته ما يشاء. الحمد لله الذي يجيبني حين أنادي ويسر علي كل عورة وأنا عسي ويعظم النعمة علي فلا أجاسي، فكم من موحبة حنية قد عطاني وعديمة مخوفة قد كفاني وبحجة منقة قد أراني وثني عليه حامدا وأذكره مصبحا. الحمد لله الذي لا يهتك حجابه ولا يغلق بابه ولا يرد الصائل ولا يخيب منه. الحمد لله الذي يؤمن الخائفين وينجي الصالحين ويرفع المستضعفين ويدعو المستكبرين ويهلك ملوكا ويستخلف آخرين. والحمد لله قاسم الجبارين مبين الظالمين مدرك الغاربين نكون الظالمين سريق المستصرخين موضع حاجات الطالبين معتمد المؤمنين. الحمد لله الذي من خشيته ترعد السماء وسكانها وترجف الأرض وعمارها وتموج البحار ومن يسبح في غمراتها. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. الحمد لله الذي يخلق ولم يخلق ويرزق ولا يرزق ويطعم ولا يطعم ويميت الأحياء ويحيي الموتى وهو حي لا يموت بيده الخير وهو على كل شيء قدير. اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك وأمينك وسفيك وحبيبك وطيرتك من خلقك وحافظ سرك ومبلغ رسالاتك أفضل وأحسن وأجمل وكمل وأزكى وأنمى وأطيب وأطهر وأسنى وأكثر ما صليت وباركت وترحمت وتحننت وسلمت على أحد من عبادك وأنبيائك ورسلك وصفوتك وأهل الكرامة عليك من خلقك. اللهم وصل على علي أمير المؤمنين ووسيء رسول رب العالمين عبدك ووليك وأخي رسولك وحجتك على خلقك وآيتك الكبرى والنبأ العظيم وصل على صديقة الطاهرة فاطمة سيدة النساء العالمين وصل على سبتي الرحمة وإمام الهدى الحسن والحسين سيد شباب أهل الجنة وصل على أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي ونقل في الهادي المهدي حججك على عبادك وملائكة بلادك صلاة كثيرة دائمة اللهم وسل على ولي أمرك القائم محمد والعدل المنتظر وحفظه بملائكتك المقربين وأيده بروح القدس يا رب العالمين اللهم صل على محمد اللهم اجعله الداعي إلى كتابك والقائم بدينك استخلف في الأرض كما استخلفت الذين من قبله مكن له دينه الذي ارتديته له أبدله من بعد خوفه يمنا يعبدك لا يشرك بك شيئا اللهم أعزه وعزز به ونصره وانتصر به ونصره نصرا عزيزا وفتح له فتحا يسيرا واجعل له من لدنك سلطانا نسيرا اللهم أذهر به دينك وسنة نبيك حتى لا يستخفي بشيء من الحق مخافة أحد من الخلق اللهم إنا نرغب إليك في دولة كريمة تعز بها الإسلام وأهلا وتذل بها النفاق وأهلا وتجعلنا فيها من الدعاة إلى طاعتك والقادة إلى سبيلك وترزقنا بها كرامة الدنيا والآخرة اللهم ما عرفتنا من الحق فحملنا وما قصرنا عنه فبلغنا اللهم انم به شعثنا وشعب به صدعنا والتق به فتقنا وكثر به قلتنا وعازز به ذلتنا وقن به عائلنا وقد به عن مغرمنا وجبل به فقرنا وسد به خلتنا ويسر به عسرنا وبيد به وجوهنا وفك به يسرنا وأنجح به طلبتنا وأنجز به مواعيدنا واستجب به دعوتنا وأعثنا به سؤلنا وبلغنا به من الدنيا والآخرة آمالنا وأعثنا به فوق رغبتنا يا خير المسؤولين ووسع المعطين اشف به صدورنا واذهب به غيظ قلوبنا واهدنا به لما اختلف فيه من الحق بإذنك إنك تهدي من تشاء إلى صراط مستقيم وانصرنا به على عدوك وعدونا إله الحق آمين اللهم إنا نشكو إليك فقد نبينا صلاتك عليه وآله وغيبة ولينا وكثرة عدونا وقلة عددنا وشدة الفتن بنا وتداهر الزمان علينا فصل على محمد وآله وعنا على ذلك بفتح منك تعجل وبضر تكشف ونسر تعز وسلطان حق تظهر ورحمة منك تجللنا وعافية منك تلبسنا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم برحمتك في الصالحين فادخلنا وفي عليين فارفعنا وبكأس من معين سلسبيل فاسقنا ومن الحور العين برحمتك فزوجنا ومن الولدان المقلدين كأنهم لؤلؤ مكنون فاخدمنا ومن ثمار الجنة ولحوم الطير فاطعمنا ومن ثياب السندس والحرير والاستبرق فالبسنا وليلة القدر وحج بيتك الحرام وقتلا في سبيلك فوفق لنا وصالح الدعاء والمسألة فاستجب لنا وإذا جمعت الأولين والآخرين يوم القيامة فارحمنا وبراءة من النار فكتب لنا وفي جهنم فلا تغلنا وفي عذابك وهوانك فلا تبتلنا ومن الزقوم والذريع فلا تطعمنا ومع الشياطين فلا تجعلنا وفي النار على وجوهنا فلا تكتبنا ومن ثياب النار وسرابيل القتراء فلا تلبسنا ومن كل سوء يا لا إله إلا أنت بحق لا إله إلا أنت فنجنا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم إني أسألك أن تجعل فيما تقضي وتقدر من الأمر المحتوم في الأمر الحكيم من الخطاء الذين يرد ولا يبدل أن تكتبني من حجاج بيتك الحرام المبرور حجهم المشكور سعيهم المغفور ذنوبهم المكفر عنهم سيئاتهم وأن تجعل فيما تقضي وتقدر أن تطيل عمري في خير وعافية وتوسع في رزقي وتجعلني ممن تنتصر به لدينك ولا تستبدل بي غيري. أعوذ بجلال وجهك الكريم أن ينخذي عني شهر رمضان أن يطلع الفجر من ليلة هذه ولتقمني تبعة أو ذنب تعذبني عليه. اللهم صل على محمد.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام. السلام عليكم. ما شاء الله ما شاء الله.
السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي ترعد السماء وسكانها وتموج البحار ومن حوله في غمراتها، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا وشفيع ذنوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المكرمين، لا سيما مولانا وحجتنا بقية الله في السماوات والأرضين، روحي وأرواح العالمين لتراب مقدمه الفداء. أما بعد، فقد قال الله الحكيم في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، ما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون. We started very important topic, which is about living as a Muslim in the West. So far, we had introduction about fasting, and we said that because of fast, we achieve taqwa, and I explained about the meaning of taqwa, and also the other benefit of fast is giving us spiritual and physical benefits. So we all talk about it. Also, we talk about the hadith of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wassalam, that Imam alayhi salatu wassalam says, if you're looking for a real abd, for real ubudiyat, for being a real slave of Allah, you need to have how many qualities? 5 qualities. Qira'ul batn, qira'atul Quran, qiyamul layl, tabarru' 'inda as-subh, wal buka' min khashyatillah. So inshallah, you don't have any question. If you have any question, we can answer now or later, doesn't matter. So the other hadith that we talked about it last night was about, also it was related to the life of here or anybody, that we need all these 6 factors in our life. We said someone came to Rasulullah and he said, Ya Rasulullah, I need 6 important things in my life. I need to be rich. Rasulullah says, if you want to be rich, you have to give sadaqah, zakat. I want to be healthy. Rasulullah says, you have to fast. So if you want to stay healthy, you have to fast. And he said, I want long life. I want to live long life. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, now you have to maintain your relationship with your family members. Then he said, Ya Rasulullah, I want to be loved by Allah. Rasulullah says, you have to have fear from Allah and you have to take the path of piety. Right? He said, I love to be loved by people, by makhluk. Rasulullah says, now you have to be nice to the people and don't expect from people. So don't make your level of expectancy low. So don't ask everybody, okay, you have to give me this, you have to give me that. So Rasulullah said, just be friend with everyone, be nice to everyone without any expectations. And at the end, he said, Ya Rasulullah, I want to be resurrected with you at the day of judgment. Rasulullah says, if you want to be resurrected with me at the day of judgment, you need to prolong your sajda. This sajda, especially in the month of Ramadan, is so effective. You can see the differences. Because when you go to sajda, that time you connect yourself 100% to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that gives you a lot of benefit. So Rasulullah says, if you want to be resurrected with me at the day of judgment, فَأَطَلِ السُّجُودِ بَيْنَ يَدَيِ اللَّهِ الْوَاحِدِ الْقَهَّارِ, you have to prolong your sajda. So when we talk about the subject of living as a Muslim in the West, now we have to go to the meaning of life, the purpose of life. What is the purpose of life? The purpose of life, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسِ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. There's a very famous ayat al-Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسِ. I did not create the jinn and mankind except to worship me. There's a surah Zariyat, ayah 56, that Allah says, I created everyone just to worship myself. And now the question is, what is the meaning of worshiping of Allah? Because it's very easy. Ibn Muljam was also calling himself the worshipper of Allah. You know, Shimr, Yazid, they were all acting as a Muslim. But what should I do? First, before I go to the meaning of ibadat and the meaning of worship of Allah, I collected all the verses of the Quran that talks about worshiping of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these are the ayat al-Quran that talks about worshiping of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ayah 5, Surah Mubarak al-Fatiha. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'een. Oh Allah, I only worship you and I only ask assistance and help from you in this ibadah. That means if Allah does not give us the honor, we cannot worship. So we need to be allowed, we need permission from Allah. Allah gives us permission. Otherwise, without His permission, we can never ever worship Him. Without permission of Imam Zaman alayhi salatu wasalam, you wouldn't be able to come here today. Without permission of Allah, you wouldn't be able to fast. Let's look at this matter like this, that everything that we are doing, any good deed that we are offering, it's because of Allah. Because Allah loves us, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to give us the honor to fast. That's why in dua, the last Friday that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, he said, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you the tawfiq of fasting and reciting the verses of Quran, right? So that means if Allah does not give you the tawfiq, you cannot fast. There are a lot of people, they're young, they're healthy, they don't have any problem, but Allah does not give them the honor of fasting. Allah does not give them the honor. You know, the namaz, praying, it's just 17 rakat, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِنَّهَا لَكَبِيرَةٌ إِلَّا عَلَى الْخَاشِعِينَ. This namaz that you think is easy, but it's not easy for everyone. إِنَّهَا لَكَبِيرَةٌ. It's very heavy. For who? For everybody. إِلَّا عَلَى الْخَاشِعِينَ. Except those who are humble. If you are humble, Allah will love you. Then Allah will give you the honor to pray for Him. Otherwise, a lot of people, they're young, they're strong, they go to bodybuilding, they go to the gym for 2 hours, 3 hours, but they're not able to wake up in the morning for praying Salatul Fajr, right? So this is the honor from Allah. If Allah does not give us the honor, we cannot come here. If Allah does not give us the honor, we cannot fast, we cannot pray. Everything is in the hand of Allah. So that's why you see, وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. I need your assistance to worship you, Ya Allah. Ayah 21, Surah Mubarakah, Al-Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhan nasu ubudu rabbakum. Here Allah says, Ya ayyuhan nas, O people, everyone. So Allah is talking, do ibadat, Allah, only Allah. You cannot do ibadat anyone except Allah. U'budu rabbakum, your Lord. Ayah 36, Surah Nisa, Wa'budullaha wa la tushriku bihi shay'an. Allah says, do worship your Lord and do not bring partner for Allah. Always Allah. You know, sometimes there is a dua that Qasim Jan recites in the month of Ramadan, every after Salat. Allahumma fukka kulla asir. That was a beautiful book Dr. Saif Jafari gave me last year. And I read that book. It was very good. That when we talk about asir, prisoners, we don't talk about those people who are in jail. We are the prisoner too. Sometimes we are the prisoners of our nafs. That's why I told you the story of the food halwa, that Amir al-Mu'mineen had the crave to eat halwa. So he said, Qambar, to bring me some halwa. Halwa comes, Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wasalam puts his finger inside the halwa, but he does not eat anything. Qambar says, why? Amir al-Mu'mineen says, because now my nafs really wanted to eat halwa. I do not want to listen to my nafs, even it's not haram. See, it's a listen. So our nafs sometimes tell us what to do. My nafs tell me, why you say salam to him? Let him come say salam to you. You are big, you're older, you're this, you're that, right? This is your nafs. Your nafs tells you, oh my God, me? I do this, I do that. I told you the story of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, that Allah says to Musa alayhi salam, go to shaitan. Shaitan is giving you the advice. Me, prophet, go to shaitan. Allah says, yeah, go to shaitan. Shaitan, what do you want to tell me? What is your advice? Shaitan says, you know what? The only thing that I did was one thing. I said, ana, me. I preferred myself than Adam. That's why Allah kicked me out of the heaven. Imagine just I said, ana khayrun min. I am better. You know, like imagine many times in our life we say this, right? So this is called Sifat Shaitaniyat. Sifat Shaitani, there's a book, it's very good book. It's unfortunately I don't find it in English, it's in Persian, that says Sifat Khabisa. There are some, you know, like qualities that those are the qualities of shaitan. But sometimes we don't know that those are the sifat of shaitan, the qualities of shaitan will be applied. One of them was ana, me. Like that's Allah teaches in the Quran, say, Iyaka na'budu, we, nasta'een, we, ihdina as-sirat, oh Allah, give us guidance. So Allah wants to teach us, do not say me. You're nothing. As the dua, you say, Rabbana atina, for all of us, the dua for all of us. Rabbana ghfir lana. See? All is like, Rabbana innana sami'na munadiyan yunadi. Oh, nah. Allah wants to tell us, don't talk about yourself. The hajat, somebody came to Ayatollah Bahjat and said, why my dua doesn't get answered? I keep doing dua. Ayatollah Bahjat says, first you have to do dua for others, then you do for yourself. If you're selfish and you do dua for Allah, give me a house, give me a car, give me money, give me a job, this, so you're not a good Muslim. You have to think about everybody else. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to share your property. He says, وَيُؤْسِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ. Sometimes you have to even prefer others than yourself. Are we at that level or no? So Shaitan was only having one quality. He said, you know what, me? He said to Musa alayhi salam, you never use that word. I want to give you this advice. But he came back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Musa. See, it's a good advice. Even it's from Shaitan, but it's a good advice. Be careful. Never prefer yourself than other people. Because you never know. You never know what's going to happen to us. That's what happened to, the story of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam and Hazrat Khizr alayhi salam. That Hazrat Khizr was the teacher of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. So whatever he was doing, he knew the reason behind. We don't know. Sometimes we have to submit ourselves to Allah. We don't know the reason. Some people, they just, judgment by themselves. No, they cannot say anything. If someone gets sick, if someone dies, why he dies in a young age? Why does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala take his soul in his young age? Why? It's not your business. It's Allah's decision. We don't know what's the story. We don't know what is the philosophy behind it. So that's why, every time when I think about, this dunya, unfortunately, most of us, we think that this dunya is for relaxation. We are here to relax. But unfortunately, the moment that we feel relaxed, that is the time that we get sick. We try to gain everything, but we lose one thing, that's our health. But we forgot about this part, that this dunya is just a bridge. You pass from this house to another house. That's it. You just take the Uber from your house to Baitul Aliyah. That's it. That Uber is not yours, right? You're just passenger. If I realize that in this dunya, I am just a passenger. I am nothing here. See how many of us died in front of us. Our family members, the mother, the cousin, the uncle, the father, everybody, they were in front of us, right? So it's a warning for us. They had best lives, they had everything, but they lived. That means we are going to live too. So if most of the time that we get stressed is because we attach ourselves to dunya. That's the beginning. When I attach myself to dunya, the stress starts. That's everything. Like sometimes it's awlad, sometimes that attachment is awlad. Allah says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu inna min azwajikum wa awladikum aduwwun lakum. Make sure, be careful. Sometimes your awlad is your enemy. You forget about Allah. You concentrate on them. You focus on the awlad. You forget about Allah. No, don't be like that. Don't be focused on the world. Just be focused on Allah. So here, وَاعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَلَا تُشْرِكُوا بِهِ شَيْئًا. Ayah 151, Surah Mubarak An'am. I just give a reference so you can go home and search it, and inshallah it's very effective. So you can read by yourself and the meaning and the translation is going to be very good for you. قل تعالوا أتل ما حرم ربكم عليكم ألا تشركوا به شيئا. What has Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made haram for you? ألا تشركوا به شيئا. Don't have any shirk for Allah with anything. Always submit yourself to Allah. Am I submitted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? This is a question, right? So this is, I always feel like, sometimes we ask something directly from Allah. Oh Allah, give me this. It's not a good dua. Like this is a very bad dua. When you talk to Allah like that, or some people call Imam Zaman, yeah, Imam Zaman, you come. It's not a good dua that I ask Imam Zaman alayhi salam to come. No, I should go to Imam Zaman alayhi salam. I should go to Allah. Allah in the Quran says, "Udhkuruni adhkur." Call me, I will call you. If you don't call me, why should I call you, right? So if I remember Allah, then Allah will remember me. If I do not remember my Lord, that means I remember shaitan. And only in problems I call Allah. This is not a good thing, right? We need to remember Allah all the time. So there's another. The other ayah, Surah Tawbah, ayah 31, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا إِلَهًا وَاحِدًا. We didn't ask you anything except worshiping one Allah. La ilaha illahu. There's no God but Allah. Subhanahu, He is glorified. Amma yushrikun. So He cannot have any partner. The other ayah 36, Surah Mubarak Ar-Ra'd, قُلْ إِنَّمَا أُمِرْتُ أَنْ أَعْبُدَ اللَّهَ وَلَا أُشْرِكَ بِهِ شَيْئًا. Again, Allah umirtu means I commanded everyone to worship Allah and do not bring any sharik to Him. Ayah 36, Surah Mubarak An-Nahl, وَلَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولًا أَنْ يَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ. In every ummah, Allah says, I appointed Rasul, but what did He ask from people? أَنْ يَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ. Only do ibadat, submit yourself to Allah. Surah Mubarak Asra, ayah 23, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ. Only worship Allah. Ayah 25, Surah Mubarak Anbiya, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِنْ قَبْلِكَ مِنْ رَسُولٍ إِلَّا نُوحِي إِلَيْهِ إِنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنَا فَاعْبُدُونِ وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونِ فَلْيَعْبُدُوا رَبَّ هَذَا الْكَعْبَةِ is all about ibadat. But when can I do this ibadah? This is the question. We have one physical aspect to do the ibadah, one spiritual aspect. The physical aspect, okay, you want to make sure you have the ghusl, you have to do the wuzu, right? You all know that if you perform 1,000 rakat without wuzu, it's going to be nothing in the eyes of Allah. Allah will not accept it because you did it without wuzu. So this is the physical aspect. So Allah says, مُطَهَّرُونَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ التَّوَّابِينَ وَيُحِبُّ الْمُتَطَهِّرِينَ. Allah loves tawwabin, those who repent to His Lord, and Allah loves those who purify their nafs and their body. So this mutahharin means their body, so it must be mutahhar, najas, is this much blood, more than this much blood in your body, so your namaz will become batil, right? A drop of urine will invalidate your namaz. These are all the rules. These are about our physical health. Most of us, unfortunately, we focus on physical aspects. Okay, Allahu Akbar. I want to make sure, okay, my namaz is fine, my clothes are clean, pure, my body is not najis. So I focus on these things. But this is only one side. What about the other side? The other side of praying and worshiping of Allah is the spiritual aspect. If I do not get to that level, I can never worship Allah. What is that? I told you about sifat khabisa, the qualities, the evil qualities, right? What are the evil qualities? Hatred, discrimination, jealousy, greed, bitterness. These materialistic, all these things are the sifat khabisa. So when I carry these things, I can only carry one. It's like I have the energy to carry 5 kilograms, right? So when I carry those 5 kilograms, so I don't have any energy for the others, right? That's why God says, وَمَن يَعْشُ عَنْ ذِكْرِ الرَّحْمَنِ نُقَيِّضْ لَهُ شَيْطَانًا فَهُوَ لَهُ قَرِينٌ. You don't go to Allah, you go to the evils. So when I have those bad habits, bad qualities, I can never worship Allah. I can worship Allah physically. Ibn Muljam, he was the memorizer of the Quran. Who was Ibn Muljam? I probably told you the history of his life, that who was he? When from Yemen, when the people wanted to do bay'at with Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wassalam, from the entire country, they picked 70 scholars. From 70 scholars, they picked 30. From 30, 7. From 7, 3. From 3, 1. So he was the representative, he was the agent from the entire population of Yemen. He came. He was the first person from Yemen who did bay'at with me. Don't think that Ibn Muljam was just like somebody coming from the street. He was a scholar. And when he was holding the hand of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, he was crying. He said, this is the best honor for me that today I was the first person from my country, Yemen, that I had the honor of doing bay'at with you, Ya Ali. Imam Ali smiles. And imagine, he was kind of person that he would never even look at the women. So the first woman that he opened his eyes was that Hutam, the one who told him to kill Amir al-Mu'mineen. So he was that kind of person. He looked so, physically, he looked so pious. He was so muttaqi. He was praying, fasting, Quran, much, much better than like millions of us. But what was his problem? The problem with him was one thing, because he had the sifat al-khabisa, but that was hidden. So that's why we have to find those sifat al-khabisa in us. If I have those sifat, those qualities, I have to remove it. Otherwise, my dua, my supplication will never get answered. Like some of us, we say, Ya Imam, Ya Rasulullah, Ya Imam Hussein. Just go ziyarat, come back, that's it. I don't need to go to the ziyarat physically if I'm not connected to Imam Hussein spiritually. I'm just wasting my time. If I just go to the ziyarat without my spiritual connection to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, this is wasting time. I just go for a picnic, I come back. You just get the dua and there's some sawab of going here and coming, that's it. I go to Hajj without a spiritual connection, it's like nothing. Like thousands of people, they are in Hajj and they kill a lot of innocent people. So this physical presence doesn't mean anything in the eyes of Allah. My spiritual presence is very important. The namaz, when I do the namaz, if I do with the physical presence, is nothing. But I need to bring my spirituality over. So if I do not bring the spirituality, it doesn't mean anything. So what should I do now? If I do not apply, like I have to have a list. When you go home, find the sifat al-khabisa, the qualities of shaitan. What was his qualities? Bitterness, because he was feeling he's better than other people. The other quality that he had was selfishness. He was selfish. It's me. I'm better, right? Because he was not a regular person. He was a scholar for the angels. He had all these qualities, racist, this. So if I find any of them in my character, I should remove it first. Oh, you from India? You from Pakistan? You from Afghanistan? You from Iran? You from this? You from that? If I have this feeling, that means I'm still shaitan. Please. You have bay'at still with shaitan. My language, my country, my people, my family, my cousin, my. That's Khuda. You're not connected to Allah. Yeah, but if you want to be connected to Allah, you have to become like Imam Hussein alayhi salam. That Imam Hussein alayhi salam did the same thing to his slave as he did for Ali Akbar. He put his face on his face, Ali Akbar, he put his face on the face of his slave. He slept next to, this is a lesson for us. He wants to teach us. Listen, who you are, you're my follower, come to me. Imagine our Maharaja, Our scholars, they're from different countries. But we listen to them. Why? Because Imam Zaman alayhi salam told us to listen to them. They are your wali. They are your wali. But right now, you have to listen to the wali. That's it. Until Imam alayhi salatu wasalam comes. When Imam alayhi salatu wasalam comes, everybody will stand behind the Imam. That's what the scholar, that's the philosophy of the scholars in Shia. The Shia has the answer for your questions at any time. So Imam alayhi salatu wasalam does not want to leave you without answer. That's what the wali is for. That's what the wali of the time is for. So that's why if I am not connected to the wali of Imam Zaman, I'm not connected to Imam Zaman. If I'm not connected to Imam Zaman, I'm not connected to Allah. Wasting my time. This is important. So now, Sifat al-Khabisa. Now we have Sifat al-Rahmaniyah. You have to look at, like a lot of people never just, أسألك يا من هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس. You just listen to it. Wow, mashallah, beautiful recitation. But these are the sifat Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have to apply those sifat in your life if you want to be connected to Allah. If you say Allah is a Rahman, His generosity is available to everyone, that means you have to be generous and merciful to the other people. When you say Allah is Kareem, generous, you have to be generous. If you're not generous, you're not connected to Allah. When you say Allah is Ghaffar, He's forgiven, you have to be forgiven. If you cannot forgive, that means you're still shaitan.
Subhanallah. Subhanallah.
If I cannot forgive, still shaitan is with me. Because if I forgive, that means I'm a good person. If I still hate, I go to him, I say sorry to him, I forgive him, never. I'm Rish Shafet, we call Rish Shafet in Parsi, that in my qawm, in my family, I go to him, and never, as long as you have these things. So Allah is generous, you have to be generous. Allah is forgiven, you have to be forgiven. Allah is Ghaffar. Ghaffar is sifat al-mubalagha. Sifat al-mubalagha is the exaggeration. That means keep forgiving. Anything. They make mistake, you keep them. Most of the time the problem happens, especially when I come across with the couples with the divorces. They don't want to forgive each other. One part made a mistake and she said, okay, you made a mistake, that's it for us. No, Allah is not like that. If we cannot forgive each other, that means still Sifat al-Khabisa is working on me. So look at all these sifat. Rahman al-Rahim, Malik Yawmiddin. All these sifat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have to try to see how many of those sifat have been applied in your life. Sadiq, honest. Am I honest? Like these, we have to look. You have to look at the meaning of these things. There are a lot of good qualities of Allah. Unfortunately, we think that it was only one Yazid, one Imam Hussain. That's it. We think like that. But the reality is different, that Imam Hussain did not fight only with the Yazid of his time. He fought with the Yazid until the Day of Judgment. That's why Abu Fadl al-Abbas he says to his brother, when he shows his loyalty to his brother, he says, Inni uhami abadan anni. I will support you forever in my religion and my faith. So that means this support is forever. Every time, now we have a Husayniyat, yes. You have to find, where is that? That's up to you. It's not something that you find it, with my speech or somebody else's speech. No, you have to, Allah give you the power. Allah give you the wisdom. Allah give you the intellect, the aql to find that Yazidiyat and that Husayniyat. You have to find your path. And you will be resurrected with that path. Don't listen to the media. These medias, when you look at the media, the TVs, forget about them. Maybe they put my speech over there and they make it evil for me. No. The thing is this, that Allah gave us the power. He said, Inna hadaynahu sabil. This power is only for the human being. The power of intellect, aql. Inna hadaynahu sabil. We showed you the path. Imma shakaran wa imma kafura. Which one do you want? Now use your aql. Don't just be emotional, because a lot of times we are emotional. Emotionally, when you go to Imam Hussein alayhi salam, emotionally, better you don't go. Why? Because you make a mistake. And your mistake can be a bad example to the others. Those who take those knives and they hit themselves and the blood is coming out of their body and they make everywhere dirty. I don't say they don't love Imam Hussein. They love Imam Hussein, but they love Imam Hussein in a bad way. Because they show the bad face of Shia to the people. The person who just wants to come to Shia, he looks at that person with a big knife sitting and hitting his head. What does he think about it? So Imam Hussein alayhi salam, the person at the day of Ashura, he's still doing sinazani, but he doesn't pray. He's not the follower of Imam Hussein. He hates himself, but he doesn't listen to Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Imam alayhi salam, for Imam is Allah is first. So Imam wants you to pray first. So if you are the follower of Imam Hussein while you're doing sinazani, you have to stop right over there and start praying. Namaz, and you know the blood is najis. How come you can pray with the blood in your body? Allah says you cannot do it. So Imam Hussein alayhi salam will definitely say, don't do it. Don't do it. If you want to do it for me, don't do it, please. Yeah, if you want to do something for me, apply me. Apply my legacy. How honest you are. How is his treatment with his wife? How is his treatment with his companion? How is his treatment? These are the meaning of Shia. The problem, look at these channels, the TV channels. They curse Mu'mineen. They curse the Sahaba. We are against all those people. Why? Because at the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this ayah of Quran was revealed, and Allah says the wives of the Prophet is your mother. Wa azwajuhu ummahatukum. That's it. You're not in the position to disrespect anyone. Please do not listen to those things. The unity between Shia and Sunni is very important. We have fiqhi problem. I know they think something, we think something else. But at the end, Allah is one Allah, Quran is one Quran, Kaaba is one Kaaba, brotherhood, everything. We have to work on those things. Who put this division? The enemies of Islam. Who are supporting those channels? The enemies of Islam. Those channels are not easy. Every month they need at least $200,000-$300,000. Who's going to pay? Me and you? We don't even have our own bills to pay, right? So of course there is somebody behind. Before people even did not know what is Shia, what is Sunni, but now everybody knows you're Shia, you're Sunni. Why? But how many of those Shias who are emotional, how many of them are the true followers? This is the question. So when we talk about this part, the ibadat and the worshipping of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have to know Allah, who is Allah. After you know Him, you submit yourself to Him. After you know all the qualities of Allah. Allah is Sadiq, Allah is Rahim, Allah is Rahman. Allah is Ghafoor, Allah is Rahim. Am I going to apply those generosities, those honesty, those good qualities in my life or no? This is the question. I'm confused about sometimes, when I want to say some of the stories about Rasulullah, I myself am shocked what kind of character he was. So the mushrikeen paid some money to the munafiqeen, the hypocrites. Okay, go and kill Rasulullah. So the bodyguards of Rasulullah were having the mission to kill Rasulullah. Jibreel alayhi salam came and said to Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, that Mahmud can be, that person is planning to kill me. I want to inform you. So be aware that they are going to come and kill you. Rasulullah arrested him. Look at the generosity of Rasulullah. Rasulullah arrested him. And now the other companions said, you know what, now we found him. So let everybody know who they are, what they were planning, let them kill him. Some of the companions said, kill them. Rasulullah said, no. Let the people know that they were the enemy and they were trying to kill him. Rasulullah said, no. I don't want to, to put them down in front of people. His enemies, the one who were planning to kill him, Rasulullah says, you're released, you're good to go. What happened? The companions look at it, Rasulullah says, no, I want the people themselves know who they are. That's it. So this is the forgiveness of Rasulullah, the generosity of Rasulullah, the love of Rasulullah, even to his enemies. But where we are right now, we are enemy of our own brothers. We are enemy of our own cousins, our own immediate family member. We don't even talk to them. We block their numbers. So what kind of Muslim I am? Right or wrong? When we see the non-Muslim, how are you going to introduce Islam like this with my action, with these deeds that I'm doing right now? Full of hatred, full of discrimination. I'm from here, you from here, your language is this, your language, my language is that, that's it. I'm just gonna introduce Islam like that to them? No, Islam is a different story. Islam means being universal. Inshallah, tomorrow night, I will explain please try to come, at least if you cannot come, please try to follow on YouTube channel that Risalatul Huquq of Imam Sajjad alayhi salatu wassalam. So this was the first thing that Imam alayhi salatu was. We are still talking about this part, the rights of Allah. So will you know the meaning of, now tonight you understood the meaning of worship. Like how can you worship Allah? Just wuzu and Allahu Akbar, that's it? Is that namaz? No. Once you purify your nafs from sifat khabisa, from the evil qualities, then you're ready to go to Allah. It's just like in the masjid, when you want to come here, you know what? If someone smokes here, I would say, please, my brother, you're my brother, please smoke outside. How do you need it, right? Smoke detectors will start, making noise. So these are the things in dunya, but when you go to be connected to Allah, if we cannot be connected to Allah, we cannot fast. But this fasting is not just about eating and drinking. How many other things I stop during the day? These are the questions. My eyes, are they fasting? My mouth, especially my tongue. Inshallah, I will talk about the Salat al-Huquq. Imam Sajjad alayhi salam talks about the rights of tongue, the rights of ears, the rights of vision, your eyes. Inshallah, we talk about it. Inshallah, tomorrow night. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma kulli waliyika al-Hujjat ibn al-Hasan. صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اجمع الصلوات.